Last time on RPGs Anonymous. So it started with you guys in Bill's Vegan Cafe. Zed was trying to contact Obi. He finds out that Ajax went missing and has a total arcane blowout in the middle of the restaurant. They immediately jet out of the restaurant, find a Tesla Model X prototype that has been dubbed Cindy. Tyke connects up to it, and they go all throughout the city of Portland trying to stay away from the eyes of IS Corp while still doing this. They eventually land in an alleyway next to Powell's Books, downtown Portland. And the wall shifts and opens up, and Dave Versus steps out with Ajax in tow. Goose and Zed go down the stairs into this deep catacomb-like area with this ancient stonework, and it closes up behind them. A tall figure robed in black met you guys and greeted you, saying that this is a compound of the Order of the Deep Candle, welcoming you in and offering to answer you questions. And that's where we ended last week, so... What did you guys do, actually? I literally forgot. I went into that. I was like, record mindset, and then I forgot everything. Oh, man. What did Pixie say last week?
And that's the highlight from last week, ladies.
That's the highlight, yeah. That all the, like, screwing up everything is very on brand. Yeah. Oh, boy. Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 14 of RPGs Anonymous. I'm Zachary, your DM. Take it away.
I'm Aaron. Gonna be Carl Nelson.
Goose Bailey.
I'm Dr. Zed. And I'm Berazel.
And I'm playing Tyke.
All right, so if you all remember, last time the boys met a tall-robed figure underground. Goose and Zed started following him down a corridor, and Tyke tried to follow them and couldn't. So Tyke, what happens here? You start to project yourself underground through this wall, and you hit this big arcane barrier, and it sort of like pushes you back. And then as you are pushed back, you begin to see this weird energy swirling in front of you, and it sort of like creates this distortion. And you can see that there's this like big bubble that goes pretty deep underground and like covers a good chunk of Powell's as well. And you start to like see parts of it that is like protecting this big area. What do you do?
Huh. I'm gonna try to think really hard at the barrier and hit it with a like psychic bolt.
Okay. Yeah, I think that would just be an attack then.
Yeah.
Trying to deal damage to it. So why don't roll your projection against we'll call it 2 difficulty.
2 difficulty. So is that 2 purple?
Yeah, 2 purple.
That's average.
Okay. Gotta open my dice roller app.
Commercial.
Turn my sound down. There we go. No, not this
For the
time. So 2
ads.
purple. And then my projection. All right. Ooh. 1 failure, but 3 advantages.
1 failure and 3 advantages. Okay. So yeah, what's your strain at, by the way, right now? With these...
It's getting low. I don't have a whole lot of this left in me. Yep.
Okay. So the good news, so those advantages I'm going to use to reduce the strain I'm about to deal.
Well.
Which is it would have just been 1 strain, so you're not going to take any strain, but you feel as you attempt to attack this thing, it like it takes the energy that you shoot at it, and it sort of ripples across the entire thing and absorbs it and shoots it back at you a little bit, and it is very uncomfortable. You think if you had been less prepared than you were, which is saying something because you weren't very prepared, you probably would have not. That would not have gone down well.
All right.
With that, let's cut back over to Goose and Zed. You are following this large figure down this corridor for a good long while. Are you going to follow in silence, or are you going to attempt to make conversation, or what?
Pardon me, what do we call you? Do you have a name or a title?
Yes, you may call me the Gatekeeper.
Gatekeeper.
How long have you worked for these people?
Worked for is a bit of a misnomer, but I have been a part of the Order for over a millennia, nearing 2.
Wait, how does that work? Like, does magic make you live longer?
That is not a question for me, Doctor. That would be a question for the Scholar, or the Arcane.
Oh, so, like,
What?
I guess, like, is that, like, a couple of other people that are, like, higher rank than you? Or, like, they just have knowledge that you don't have, and so, like,
Well,
that's how it works?
I would not be able to accurately answer your questions. I am a humble gatekeeper. That is my job. That is all my job.
Taking us again?
Say what?
Where are you taking us again?
Right now, I am taking you deeper into our compound to meet the Ambassador.
So, if the Scholar is the only one who can answer my questions, why don't we go to him first?
Because
Her.
first, you must meet the Ambassador.
Okay.
The Ambassador can help you get connected with who you must speak to.
I can't wait to find out if just one of these guys in this organization is
I-
named Phil.
I'm just waiting for this to be a bureaucratic circle and never actually get.
Directed to different branches.
Yeah, until you get back, like coming through the front door again.
Do you guys have any other questions for the Gatekeeper, or are you gonna follow along, or what?
I feel like this guy's not gonna be very helpful.
What gives you that impression?
Yes.
I
What
think we
gives you
keep
that
following.
Continue
impression?
following.
Is there some way I can better serve you as Gatekeeper? Would you
Nope,
like
I
to rate
think
my
we're-
performance?
Yeah, is there like an app for
There's
that?
an app to download.
You
For
can
your secret order?
let me
How
just
many?
let
how
me
many
just pull
skulls?
up the survey. He like reaches into his robes and pulls out like this like ancient looking scroll, and like a quill,
Pirate scroll.
and it has like 4 or 5 questions on it, each with like 5 boxes on it, and he says, on a scale of 1 to 5, how frightened were you of my visage when you saw me?
I
I think
mean,
Goose fills out a 5, but he like kind of covers it with his hand, so Dr.
Oh no,
Zed can't see.
he's like holding the parchment, and he's like taking
Yeah.
down the end, like he's asking and taking down the answers for you.
like a 4? I mean, you are tall, dark, and scary.
A 4. Okay, what about you, Goose?
Definitely a 1, like a 1.
You are holding up a 5 with your hand, but saying a 1, which I'm confused.
I wasn't scared.
Okay, so the average of your 2 would be 2.5. Am I correct? I'll just fill in 3. Thank
yeah.
you. And he fills in the little 3 bubble. On
This is so Portland.
on a scale of 1 to 5, how likely would you be to recommend The Gatekeeper to your friends?
Like, recommend you as a gatekeeper for their hidden secret order?
No, in like my duties as a gatekeeper for our like how like would you? I guess this is a pretty
Yeah.
confusing question. I'll just scribble it out. This
Little
survey
bit.
was
Oh, no,
written
no,
like
I got-
200 years ago.
I got you. Actually, I have some friends I'd like to recommend you to right now. They were just outside before you we shut the wall behind us.
Oh. Wait, you have more friends that are supposed to. Oh, of course, yes. Tycho the Mystical and Carl Nelson would of course like to come down here. He like stops and he like the quill and the parchment like kind of fall to his side. He like looks around. Should we go back?
I mean, this does affect your performance as gatekeeper, as you didn't allow all of the people in the group to come down.
Well, seeing as how this is the first survey I've filled out in over 500 years, I would like it to reflect very well on my performance. Yes, let's return and get your friends. And he sort of spins around, and behind you guys, you actually see that the corridor, you didn't notice this because you've just been walking, but the corridor has been like sealing into stone behind you in this weird like spatial like distortion like envelope thing. It's really freaky looking at it from this side, but he raises his robed appendage, because again you can't see like hands or feet or anything, and it begins unclosing in, and the corridor begins like opening up behind you again, and he like gestures for you to walk back toward the stairway.
Okay, I forgot my dog, so that'll work.
Is it important to bring your dog down here?
Of the utmost.
We have never had a dog in the compound.
We really
Oh,
like.
I think I'll have to grade you down if, like,
Mother.
you're not pet friendly.
Okay. How would I be pet friendly?
Let the dog into the secret lair.
Okay, yes, your dog of course can come in. Do I need to like try and get some treats or something as well?
No, I got it.
I'm not very well versed on dogs. I'm just the gatekeeper.
Were you just born in this cave?
No.
Do you know what a dog is?
Yes.
I mean, they've been around 1,000 years.
So it's basically going to continue like this until you guys get back to the bottom of the stairway. And
We
then
learn a lot about the gatekeeper.
yes. And so he'll raise his robed arm again at the bottom of the stairs, and you see the stairway opens back up, and outside so Tyke, you sort of like feel as this is like as you get like pushed back by this bubble, you sort of like snap back into your body, and it's kind of disoriented. Carl, what are you and Dave talking about when
Well, if you remember right, Carl and Dave were just kind of bantering. Dave was sitting in the X, but I was tracing the bricks on the wall, trying to find where it opened. So I am hands on the wall, trying to see where this.
yeah Carl,
when that opens, it's literally going to be me going. Oh,
I'm pretty sure your agility is pretty all right, but why don't you roll me a coordination check? I don't think you have coordination. I think
does
it's
somebody have an app? My dice are sitting on a table.
here. I can roll it for you.
Oh no.
2 greens against 2 purple, I think is correct, unless you have coordination. I don't remember. Does that sound
No,
right?
I don't have coordination.
Okay.
I don't have coordination, so it'll just be the 2 agility.
Okay, well, the good news is you succeeded. The bad news is there's a disadvantage. So you do not fall down the stairs when it opens up in front of you suddenly. But I think what happens is that this this robed figure is in the stairway, like halfway down, and they're so large that you do not see Tyke and Goose with them. So I think, Carl, I would like you to act under the assumption that Goose and Zed, that Goose and Zed are somewhere trapped in there, or like haven't come back or something like that. Like, I think Carl assumes the worst has happened right now.
Yeah, and also, thinks maybe he had something to do with the door opening.
Yeah. You might also think that you opened the door as well.
Yeah, no, it'll be more along the lines of, there they are. Where did they go? Where did you take? And I'm pretty sure he'll just start advancing down the stairs.
Okay. I think in response to that, he says, "Where did who go, Carl Nelson, and where did I take whom?" And you see now that he's got this like ancient looking parchment.
Last two people who went through this doorway.
Oh, you mean Misters Bailey and Doctor? Why can I never pronounce your last name? What is wrong
Vulcan.
with me? Is it a B
Vulcan.
or V? V. Okay.
Yeah. You want me to
I'm
put
the
it in
worst.
chat for you?
Yeah, please. That would be so helpful. I think I need to just like put it in Vulcan. That's not hard at all. What is wrong with me?
It's in our character description.
I know that too. And I read it like literally at least twice a week when I'm planning too. I just don't ever say it aloud. Vulcan. Dr. Zedekiah Vulcan. I'm going to get this right someday. So yes, he says, so you mean...
Yeah, so Tyke, you'll see Carl cruising down the stairs talking to somebody.
So yeah, he says, do you mean Mr. Bailey and Dr. Vulcan? And he like gestures with a quill that is ambulating without a hand attached to it to the two behind him. You see that they are now there, and yes, Tyke, you see Carl sort of like disappear a couple steps into the wall suddenly as you snap back into your body.
Oh, well, that's not good. I'm going to I'm going to have the car open its doors, and I'm going to jump out of the car and run towards the wall.
Okay.
And
Zed whistles
as I'm
for
running, I just say,
Ajax.
"I'm here, Dave."
Okay. So Dave will sort of like get out of the car. He goes around and starts closing the doors. Ajax jumps out and starts running down towards the gatekeeper and Dr. Zed and everybody. And I think Ajax barrels through like past the robes of the gatekeeper. And the gatekeeper's like, oh gosh, okay, all right, hello, doggy, and Ajax runs straight to Zed again, and the party is reunited again, and the gatekeeper will now offer to bring all of you into the compound if you so desire.
What's with the blue force field?
That
Can we
is
just give
part of our protection.
Dave Cindy? I mean,
Oh,
I
can we retcon that I like transferred voice commands over to him or something?
mean, I can just drive the car normally. And
Yeah.
also I don't really need to go back down there.
Okay.
Do you want me to like leave it running, stay here in the alley, or do you want me to bring it back or like meet you guys somewhere or something? I can't really go back to the bar.
Oh, I guess just stay here unless it looks like it's getting dangerous.
Gotcha, Mr. Stevenson. I'll be your
how
valet.
how
I
dangerous
guess.
can you be sitting on a street in a Tesla? Looks pretty calm.
Yeah, I'll lock
think
the
he's more
doors and
safe
all
than
that. I got some jams to listen to. It's been a rough day. Maybe I'll take a nap. All right, you boys have fun.
What kind of jams does he put on?
Say what?
Don't stop me now.
Yeah.
Having such a good time.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Like Queen era, classic rock kind of stuff. It's he probably puts on
Not amber waves of grain.
It could be that also. Yeah, he might just put on the Portland Oldies station, which is now playing up to 90s music. So, who knows? But yeah, I think Queen starts playing. Yeah, and he like you guys see him like nod off in the back of the thing. And all right, so you guys all going down into the compound then, right? Okay.
Yeah.
If so,
So the gatekeeper will lead the way down. As it did before, everything sort of sucks into itself, becoming like just stone as you are passing through it. And he leads the way, and there's this strange, like chemically orange light everywhere. You go down the stairways and begin walking down the corridor. And the gatekeeper will say, "So, does this mean I can rate this a 5 out of 5 then?"
Yeah, sure.
Okay, overall rating 5 out of 5. Thank you, gentlemen. This was very helpful to me, and it will help improve my performance over the next couple of centuries. After a couple of minutes of walking, he leads you into the corridor starts to open up, like widen out a little bit, and eventually leads into this large, like cylindrical stone room with torches around it and a bunch of passageways leading off in a bunch of different directions. And in the center of this like area is a desk with another of these like 8-foot tall robed figures behind it sitting there. And as you approach, he like pushes out the chair and stands, and the gatekeeper says, "Gentlemen, this is the ambassador. He will take you from here." And he like gestures, and will stand to the side of the passageway.
So is the ambassador like right in front of us?
Yeah, he's the figure that's standing behind the desk.
Oh, I'm going to bow.
The ambassador will bow back to you and says, "Hey guys, yeah, come on in. There's a lot of compound to see. So, and I assume you guys have a lot of questions. So, yeah, let's go."
you know that's starting, right?
What?
Like going from the gatekeeper guy to just like, oh, casual Joe here.
Yeah, and you can see as you're saying this, the gatekeeper's like 20 feet down the hallway already, and he's like, "Yeah, look, dude, he's been here for like almost 2 millennia. He's a bit dramatic, I understand. That's why he's the gatekeeper and I'm the ambassador." So, yeah, we can. You guys, I assume, have a bunch of questions. Let's talk a little bit, real quick, about what you want to find out.
I mean, I have a lot of questions about magic.
Understandable. I believe you were affected by the unveiling, right? You've got some stuff going on, right?
I will throw my hook and crook down the hallway as far as I can.
Ooh, this is cool. So yeah, I think
There's also that.
it goes like to like a foot past the hallway where you guys are standing, like into the hallway, and then it hits a barrier and like falls to the ground and then flies back to you. Oh yeah, okay. So yeah, I don't have a lot of details in my records. I saw that you guys all sort of started were affected, but yeah, we so depending on what's going on, we've got a few people that can help you out. Obviously, Zed, you want to know about magic. We have the arcane and the scholar, who are both relatively well versed in that. Depending on exactly what you want to know about going on. Are you looking more for a historical thing, or are you looking more for practical stuff?
I mean, a little bit of both. Like, have
Okay.
you all been able to cast spells for your entire existence? Or did you just, like, study magic and now all of a sudden you can cast spells because of the unveiling? Like, how's this?
Yeah.
Give me a rundown.
Yeah, valid question. Well, the basics, I won't get too into details because that kind of falls into the scholar's realm. He likes to, handle the history and stuff. But the basics are that we've been around for a long time. Magic has been around for a long time. Some people have been able to use it. Most people can't. And usually the people that can kind of go crazy and die, or they end up either with us or with somebody else that can sort of keep it secret, because up until now, like, the knowledge of it kind of makes you go insane if you don't have like some special help to take care of it. So those are the basics. I don't want to get too, like I said, I don't want to get too into details, because I would really be stepping on the scholar's toes if I did that.
That makes so much
Can we
sense.
go back to going crazy and dying? Like, how do I stop that from happening?
Yeah. Well, let's see. If you want to know about how we've done it in the past, we can take you to the scholar. You can ask him some questions. We don't know a ton about what's going on now, so we have the researcher doing his thing with stuff as well. So, but he doesn't really do audiences and stuff like that. So, you may want to talk to the scholar about like the stuff about that. Can I take you guys to him, or do you guys have some more like general questions I can help out with? I'll obviously stay here as a guide to help you through this.
Anything about IS Corp?
Well,
Super evil, right? I look around for Fitz.
I didn't.
Oh yeah, did Fitz come down?
I'm leaving this up to you guys. Did Fitz come down, or did he stay with Dave? His impulse would be to come with you guys. But if you like would be like stay in the car, like he has every reason to do that as well. I'm leaving it totally up to
Well,
you.
I would imagine if he stayed in the car, it'd be a sitting target. So I don't think he wants to stay in the car.
Yeah, that's
If he wants to come, I don't think anybody would have stopped him.
okay. Yeah, okay. I think Fitz is there then. I think he's just like eyebrow raised, watching this whole thing very quietly.
Yeah. So basically,
He's
you're
like,
saying you
Only
can't
4
answer
stars because the gatekeeper
you
didn't
can't answer
address
our
me.
questions about magic or why this place exists. So you're an ambassador for what?
Oh well, like I said, I'll be helping you guys.
Just to say hi.
Get the lay. Yeah. I'm sort of the convivial voice in the room that helps you guys feel a little bit more comfortable. Help you guys get the lay of the land. But like I said, I don't want to get too into depth with the other members' spheres of influences because they can be a little.
What was that word that you used?
Which one? I used a lot of words right there.
Yeah, the one about like what kind of ambassador you are.
You mean being a convivial voice in the room?
Convivial.
Yeah, convivial.
Okay.
It means like actually I might be wrong. You could ask the scholar. He might know about this more, but I think it means like cool and nice and vivacious and stuff like that, people person. I could be wrong about that. I don't know. It's not my job to know vocabulary all that well.
No.
It means genial or jovial.
Yeah, okay, there we go. Yeah, exactly that.
The GRE paid off.
So, yeah, I can help you guys get to see who you need to. Like I said, I'll stay with you. Make sure you don't get lost. I'll help you with that stuff. If you guys like need a place to stay for a little bit, we recommend you don't stay here for more than 24 hours. It can have some weird effects on people that aren't used to it. But if there's anything you guys need to feel more comfortable, I can help you out. We let Dave stay here for a little bit with the little doggo. So they were cool. But yeah, if you guys have some questions, we can take you to the right person.
I mean, I got questions and I'm here to get them answered.
Wait, what's our goal right now? We're just kind of running away from Ice Corps, right?
I mean,
Well,
sort of.
actually, I thought our goal was to get a dog, and now we've done that.
Mark?
After that, we were supposed to look into what IS Corp was doing and how they're influencing the situation.
Yeah, so I want to talk to those people. Who can tell me about that?
Yeah, tell us everything you know about IS Corp.
Okay, that would definitely be under the scholar's sort of thing. He's very interested in the current events, and I definitely don't want to talk about IS Corp with instead of him because, well, you can just meet him and that'll smooth things out a little bit. Is that okay? Can I take you guys to the scholar? Do you mind?
Lead the way.
Okay, cool. So he will lead you guys down one of the passageways for another few 100 feet, maybe more. It's hard to tell now because you're very deep underground. And eventually you start to see light coming from a ways away. And in the distance you see a large expansive room start to like come into view. As you get closer, you can tell that it is a library of sorts. And when you step into it, you can see that there are just thousands and thousands of shelves of books, going about as far as you can possibly see. This big underground expansive library. It's multiple levels. There seems to be like one directly above you, one on the level that you're on now, and it goes down a little bit as well. In the center, there is one of those weird round desk things that some libraries have, and there's another one of these 8-foot tall people in there just taking some books and like doing some things with them. Like looks like they might be like restoring a book right now. And as you guys enter in, they sort of like look up a little bit, and their robed arm does a little like wave at the ambassador. The ambassador waves back. And the ambassador will lead you into a small office space past a few stacks of books into this like enclosed area, and it is this stone opening with a glass window, a small glass window inset that's looking into a really dimly lit office space. It seems to be lit by these like small weird candle things that are burning again with this like weird chemically orange glow. There's a stone door that he opens up and gestures you all inside. Inside, it's very much like an office space. There are some like old filing cabinets. There's a big desk. There's a bunch of these like books and scrolls and like weird implements, mostly like research oriented things. There are this large set of tomes on the back wall on a shelf that are all labeled, all of these like different really these like very detailed names. What is the word I'm looking for? It's like they're very evocative, like all these very evocative names. One of which you notice is the Crusade, and it's like this sparkling red lettering. And there are a bunch of like those tomes on the back wall on this shelf. And then there's a doorway deeper into this area, which you can see more flickering light. And in the center of this room is like a table, just like a normal, like you would imagine, like a I don't know, a normal ass table, like a very normal,
like a dining set,
kind of like a it's shorter than like a dining table. It's kind of like a living room table or something like that, like that kind of thing, like the type that you would sit around and like have coffee at or whatever. And there are a bunch of chairs also sitting around that. And the ambassador will gesture for you guys to sit at the table. Like a coffee table. Yes, that's the word I was looking for. It's a coffee table. I can't do words tonight, y'all. I'm sorry.
Oh, wow. I would have never guessed that was the word.
Yeah, all right. So yes, the ambassador gestures for you guys all to sit around this coffee table. There is another chair on the other side that seems to be slightly more ornate than the other chairs. Obviously, it seems to be for the other person. And then the ambassador will walk back to the opening and sort of like knock on the wooden door that's open. And he says, "Hey, got some people that might want to ask you some questions. Maybe you could do you feel up to giving that a go?" And there is just silence for a moment, and then you hear like a chair moving on the stone floor, and out of the back of the room comes another one of these 8-foot tall robed figures, but he has this big velvet purple sash around the center of his torso. And he walks out and he sort of like nods to each of you. He has a tome under his arm, like a big old book, and a quill, also nestled there. And he walks over to this like grand chair on the other side of you and will sit down and sort of sets the tome on the table and opens it to an empty page. Before it fully opens, you all see this purple lettering on the binding that says "The Unveiling." And he nods to each of you and says, "Hello there."
Hello.
Hello.
What's the unveiling?
Those are the times we find ourselves in. That question I answer for free. Here on out, I require payment.
Oh, oops.
And you see him sort of like
as...
bring the quill up to the paper, and he starts writing on the page in this like weird script, and it immediately sinks, like the ink sinks into the book and disappears as he's writing. He says, "It is simple. A question for a question. I give you an answer after you give me an answer."
Okay.
What happens when we can't answer the question?
I will not answer anything that you do not have the capacity to answer, to my knowledge.
Okay.
Sure.
So you won't ask us anything that we don't have an answer to.
Correct.
I'll have an answer.
Oh,
It just might not be right.
So, shall we begin? Who is
Early.
first?
Yes, we can begin. So now that you've asked that question, I've answered
I
it.
think.
Let's go.
Oh, okay.
Oh, boom. Gotcha.
Cute. We will consider that payment for the free answer I gave you before.
I'll just look over at Dr. Zed. You got us here, so go for it.
This is why I have Carl with me.
I try to reach behind Zed's back to like give Carl a low five.
Yeah, you do. You guys low five behind the chair. Yeah.
So my first question is, am I going to go insane and die? And is there a way to prevent that?
There are two questions there.
Okay, I mean, I'll answer two questions, I guess.
Okay. I would like to know. And he sort of he flips back like a dozen pages, and sort of like you see the robe sort of move as if he's scanning the page with a finger, but obviously you can't see like any like appendage or anything. And he says, "Why did you become a doctor?"
Well, I wanted to help people, and I found that like those who are disadvantaged often don't have medical care, and so I figured that was the best way to help the most people around me in my community.
Then to answer your second question, why do you want to help people?
I mean, there's this book that my people read called the Torah, and it talks about taking care of your neighbor and caring for the poor and the orphan and the widow, and so like I take it very seriously.
Ah. The answer to your first question is likely not. The answer to your second is to master your power, rather than let it take control over you.
Okay.
How do you master your power?
To answer that, I will ask you a question. Where do you believe you would be had the unveiling not occurred?
What time is it?
Are you actually asking that, or?
I mean, not of him, just in general. Like, what time is it?
Yeah, I think it'd be. I mean, it'd be like 1 o'clock at the latest. Because you guys probably
early
spent about an
afternoon.
hour and a half looking for Ajax, maybe 2, probably 2. We'll call it 2.
I would probably be pulling tarot cards for some old lady and feeding her some BS about her future and how her dead husband did actually care about her, even though he never said it.
Hmm.
Wow, harsh.
Yeah. Yikes.
And then
It's shockingly frequent. It's disturbing. I know.
then he will say, to respond to your question, he says, first you must understand it, then you must accept it, then you must learn to control it. Those things will lead to mastery over time.
Here's one.
Hmm.
Why is IS Corp evil?
Oh my god.
Not how.
That's pretty close to
Why?
what I was going to
Why are
say.
they evil?
I gotta get a
Why
good
is
question.
there evil?
Man.
He flips pages again, and he flips a really far, like he flips like, I don't know, it looks like a couple hundred pages back. I mean, he says, what conspiracies, if any, do you have proof of?
In my backpack and pull out the extraterrestrial folder.
Yes. Aliens exist.
Touche.
I keep
You know
forgetting
that.
about that.
You know that's touche. Say touche.
I mean, that's what I was expecting. So, you see him as he has done pretty much every time you guys have answered a question. He begins writing again. This one takes a very long time for him to finish writing what he is writing down. And again, as soon as he moves on to like the next letter, the script like sinks into the page and disappears. And then he sort of after maybe like a full minute or two of writing, he will sort of stop and look back up at the rest of you expectantly.
Oh, it's my turn, I think.
Wait, he didn't
How
answer
did-
the question.
Oh, you're right. He didn't. Oh shit, I forgot. Okay. That's a good point. Yeah, I forgot. I totally forgot. Okay. Okay.
What's Fitz doing? I look at Fitz.
I assume you don't want philosophical musing, so instead I will answer the heart of your question. The reason that they seem to have an adverse effect on the world at this moment, I believe, is because of the pursuit of power and wealth that is inherent in many humans. That seems to be the core of it, if I understand correctly.
So they're just like a normal evil corporation. Like, just.
That's a question. Shh.
Alright,
Well,
well,
that
rhetorical.
was a statement. That was a statement.
Yeah.
In truth,
They're
it
not
was a
in with the
leading
question,
statement, but I will ignore that for the moment.
What gave IS Corp the foreknowledge to predict the unveiling?
Ooh. Yeah, all right.
I mean, Goose made me think of a new question. He asked what I wanted to ask.
Yeah.
So.
The scholar sort of nods a little bit, and then we'll flip forward a whole bunch, and then like looks at the page and like sort of cocks their head, their hood, and then flips back like a bunch of pages, and then flips back another bunch of pages, and then just like takes a chunk of the book like this thick and flips it forward, and you can see that there's only like a dozen pages before where they're at now, and they sort of like look very confused, and they look back at Carl and they say, "Who is the source of your power?"
Heka.
Hmm.
That was the name I was given from the the entity that gave me these tools.
Someone in IS Corp many years ago spent time to try and find the sort of thing that everyone is now witnessing. And they were very good at their job. They found it, and IS Corp has had an advantage since.
I think Goose actually did start laughing because he assumed Carl was setting up a joke of Hecka. Hecka who? Hecka if I know.
And the joke never came. That's so good. Oh, that's funny.
Oh no.
Who's next? Keep them coming. Pew, 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 pew.
Can we trust Dan?
Yes.
Hmm.
Goose looks at him. Yes.
I will answer that for free, as that is a judgment. It is not a matter of history. That would be a question for the Oracle.
Oh, there's
Oh.
another one.
Yeah, there's three we haven't met now, so okay.
Oracle.
Do you have the plumber and the cook? Whatever.
Oh man,
don't
I
need to
really
answer
wish I
those
could show you guys my notes right now.
You don't need to answer those questions. It's just me being really, really frustrated. I mean, I want to meet somebody named Bill and Paul and Bob. Go ahead, whatever.
Who's next?
Wait, so do you just know? Could you answer any question we have? Are you omnipotent?
I will answer that one for free. Also, no, I am not omnipotent. We are simply very effective observers, and I am a very effective record keeper.
All right, so here's another big one. If we don't stop IS Corp from pursuing the actions they're in pursuit of now, will that be detrimental to the world population?
They flip forward back again to roughly where they were before, and they say that is still being written. I can't say for certain. So again, I will exact no payment.
This is a meta question. Fitz is with us, right? So he's
Yep.
like right next to us. Okay.
Yep.
I'm gonna look at Fitz and say, are there such a thing as psychics that can control electronics and technology?
The scholar looks at you and says, putting aside the payment, is this a trick question?
No?
Steve, I believe if my records are correct, and he flips back a couple of pages and looks again at the blankness and says, yes, if my records are correct, you know that answer better than most.
Yeah, but I just want to hear you say it.
Okay, all right, I will. Okay, then I will exact payment. If you did not develop powers, Steve, do you believe you would become successful in this world?
Ooh.
I think he says yes, but he hesitates.
Okay. Yeah, so he flips back another dozen pages or so and does a really quick scribble. And then he looks up and says, such an easy contract, but yes, I believe that is in the realm of possibility, though I'm not sure that it has been before. Magic and technology have not interacted much over the time that I have been the scholar. But yes, it seems to be a possibility as evidenced by you.
Thank you.
So, are there taboos regarding magic, such as trying to raise the dead or like unmake things? Like, what are there taboos?
Okay, yes, I will answer this, but this may be the most important payment I have requested for you. This is a piece of information I have been dying to know for a very long time. Why did you and Sam break up?
Well,
I look at Tyke. I actually wanted to know this.
No, I didn't hear you.
I actually wanted to know this too.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think Tyke like nudges you and like shakes his head, like, yeah.
like over a series of like me bringing home people that need to be cared for in our home, and like me forgetting to do the dishes, like little things piled up, and we didn't address them, and it ended up crushing the relationship. It wasn't one big overall thing, as relationships are very complex.
That makes me very sad. I shipped you two very hard. As far as magical taboos, the practical truths of that I would leave to the arcane, but as far as I can answer historically, there have been many times where certain practices have been taboo and worse. Some have been put to death for the simplest of magics. Some have been allowed to do the most, pardon the phrase, profane things and been fine. It depends on the culture and the society.
Okay, but like, there's nothing that's going to kill me if I try and do it, right?
There are many magics that kill the
Like, if I
user.
Okay. Like, that's kind of what I was trying to get at. Sorry, clarifying question.
That's acceptable, I understand. Here, just clarifying a question, real quick about the you and Sam relationship. Then, do you ever think you would get back together?
I mean, I'm still a little broken
The
up
world-
about it. It's only been like
The
6
world
months.
has ended, and he wants to know about your relationship.
With your ex.
Hey,
I mean,
man, like
oh,
Sam
my
usually
God,
doesn't
oh,
go for
my.
guys in hoods.
Yeah, I was about to say, is he trying to see if she'd be up for it?
Are you implying I would hit on Sam?
I mean,
Yes.
it feels like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that payment
Kinda.
for
A
a
little?
question? We don't have to answer that.
I have filed all these under the realm of clarifying questions.
How
You have other
convenient.
tombs that you have other tombs that obviously relate to quantities in the past, historical significant events. Where are you getting your information to chronicle these timelines? You have information that we don't know. You're answering questions by flipping back into a history document.
Yes, a juicy question requires a juicy question in return. Why do you believe you were chosen for Heka's power?
Probably because I didn't want anything like that. Probably just to piss me off.
Interesting.
I mean, I can't get rid of these things. Toss.
I have many ways to find information. Among them are spies, eyes in secret places, members of the Order find me information, old historical documents, and of course, observing things firsthand, which is my favorite.
What would be the best first move to cripple IS Corp?
This is likely another question for the Oracle.
Dang it, all my questions are Oracle questions.
Hey,
You
can
tend-
the
You
can the
tend
rest of you go ahead?
Yeah, we're just gonna go back and forth. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
You
I was
tend
just
to
gonna-
ask questions that deal in the future or the near future. I deal in history and the past and precedent.
Are we ready to go to the Oracle yet?
Make sure you're not asking him.
Yeah, don't
I
ask
mean,
him.
I have one more question.
Yeah, I have one as well.
I've got one more. So is this my power or is it Berazel's?
Hmm.
And if he is gone, do I lose my power?
May I speak to Berazel?
I mean, I guess.
For the purposes of
Want me
asking
to make a roll?
this payment. Yeah, let's have you make a roll.
Okay, what is this? A discipline?
Is that another clarifying question?
Yes, yeah, he's not going to be a super big stickler about stuff like that. I mean, he's given you guys go to the Oracle for like a dozen, so it's not like you guys have like an hourglass that is ticking down every time you ask a question. I believe we did discipline versus discipline last time, and I think there were like additional, it was like an additional difficulty if they were like fighting each other or something. But if it's mutual, which again we assume, bringing Berazel out is probably mutual, then it's just straight discipline versus discipline.
Okay.
Well, while Zed is bringing forth Berazel, I'll look over to Tyke. Does it seem like he's just answering questions to his soap opera?
To his what?
His soap opera. He's
fan
like
fiction?
answering questions to the things that he wanted to have answers to in his daytime show. Anyways,
At that
Are
point,
you saying we're in a show?
at least his.
At that point,
Zed's body begins to swell, and the skin cracks and bursts and falls off onto the floor with a wet splat. And shortly after that, Berazel's sitting in the chair going, "Hey, how are you?"
Okay, cool. For this, Tyke, or Jacob rather, I would like you to pull me a tarot card.
Oh, all right. Just off the top. I've been shuffling them.
By the way, real quick, does Berazel know these people? Has
This
he
is why
encountered
I'm
them in
pulling
the
a
last
tarot
2,000
card.
years?
Yes, this is why I'm pulling a tarot card.
Yeah, so we got a 7 of wands.
Okay, 7 of wands. Do. Got it. I face up or reversed?
Face up.
Challenge
Oh,
competition.
no, wait. Actually, it's upside down. Sorry.
Okay, exhaustion, giving up, and overwhelmed.
Oh,
So
no.
I think what this means is that Berazel had a short run-in with the Order of the Deep Candle very, very early on in his tenure on Earth. And he has been eluding them since. For whatever reason. But I think he had a very short run-in. What do you think that run-in looks like?
I think at one point he possessed one of them.
Ooh.
And like he'd been like, I don't know, if this is his early career, he was probably in possession of like a poor person who happened to die like in a gutter and happened to be near enough to one of these compounds that he just happened to get one of them. And like when he discovered what was going on, he tried to steal the knowledge for himself.
Okay.
And like he ended up killing a few of them, and they eventually hunt him down and kill him, and he ends up being stuck in an animal.
Who do you think he possessed?
The previous scholar.
Okay. I love that. Okay. That's really good.
Literally the one right before this.
Yes. Yeah. I think that's fantastic. Of course. So yeah, Berazel pops out. It is good to see you.
I mean, the feeling's not mutual.
I wouldn't... Good does not mean pleasant, but it is good that you are here.
Well, you can't kill me.
And we wouldn't try again. But I would also caution you. Things have changed since you were here last. Now, I am going to ask you a question.
He begins absently carving into the table like obscene pictures.
Oh, I love this so much. Okay, yeah. We'll come back to that. Okay, so the scholar will ask you, what caused you to be trapped in this existence?
He compelled to talk.
No, there's no magic at play here. This is a
Okay.
deal. This is a deal.
Well, I came here with my army and just loved it so much I decided to stay.
Well, this is insufficient to pay for Zed's question, so I will ask a different question. What
Your
would you
army.
What would you do in this moment were you completely free?
This world would be mine. I would unleash all of my legions.
This is sufficient. You may bring Zed back if you wish.
I don't.
Okay, then relay this
Like
to
that
him.
answer.
Yeah, I think
What
I
did you
make,
say, Colby?
I think I look at
I'm not the only one that doesn't like that answer, right?
Yeah, you're definitely
yeah,
not.
yeah. I think Tyke like looks around at Carl and Goose like making like kind of like weird eyes, like what was that?
I said out loud, your army.
Before I do this next part, Berazel, why don't you roll me a
Question for a question, Carl.
Wow.
Berazel, roll me a vigilance.
That was a
with-
statement in surprise.
with a difficulty of. If I can find it, where is it? Where the heck did my thing go? Oh, it's down
I
here.
mean, having an army might be good for fighting IS Corp, so maybe it's beneficial.
Let's see.
Yeah, you
Do you
fight
really want an army
evil
of
with
demons?
worst evil.
Yeah.
So
A difficulty of 2
special-
red, please, Berazel.
I actually have a special ability, heightened
Alright.
awareness, where companions within short range of me add a blue to all perception and vigilance checks.
Now,
and
I want you to think very carefully right now about whether Berazel is an ally in this moment.
Um,
I mean, he is to Carl. He stopped some of the shadow creatures and ate a donut with me. So
yeah, I
That's
mean,
true.
Berazel hasn't done anything evil that I'm aware of.
Okay.
Also, if they're engaged with me, it's 2 blue die.
It'll only be 1 blue die. We'll say he's not engaged.
Okay. All right. Well, the good news is you added that blue die, so it is a success. But it is 2 despairs.
Holy balls. Okay. Okay. So you succeeded in noticing this before it happens. But there are 2 despairs. So I think one of that for sure means that Berazel cannot stop this from happening.
Right. Sure.
Even though he notices. What he notices is Fitz is holding a device behind his back, very slowly moving, and he is about to like place it on him. How does Berazel react? Keep in mind that you won't be stopping this from coming in contact with you.
So it's gonna happen. So Barazel's just gonna say burn and set Fitz on fire.
Oh, I fucking love that. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Roll your spell.
Okay. He's a nemesis, right? So
No,
that's
he's not. No, he's not. Actually, yeah,
Huh?
actually, yes,
For
he
a
is.
rival?
He's currently right now, yeah, upgrade twice, yeah, because I did that for the difficulty.
Well, I mean, he was the Berazel in the past, I thought.
He was to you guys completely all the time, until you guys sort of have half recruited him, but now he is currently Berazel's nemesis at this present moment. Yes, for sure.
What I'm saying is we recruited Fitz with Dr. Zed. I think Berazel has always been his nemesis.
That's true. Yeah, that does make sense.
Yeah.
So, so
one success.
one success.
Oh.
Okay, yeah. What's the damage? Oh, this sucks.
My intellect is a 3, so he takes 3 fire damage.
Okay, so yeah, you light Fitz on fire
And is on fire.
Yeah, you blast him with fire. He becomes on fire, and he immediately like starts like crying out, but he lets go of this device and it attaches to Berazel, and this electric field begins zapping all around his body. It isn't painful, so to speak, but it does keep him restrained. And you see Fitz, while he's like burning and trying to pat like this fire out, he has this like just devilish smirk, like he just the shit-eating grin, like he knows he got the better of you. And the other despair, I'm just gonna take it and I'm gonna put it in my little GM pocket, for later.
Can I?
Oh yeah, what did you do with those other two? Oh? Go ahead.
What were you saying, Jacob?
I was just going to try to use my mind. I want to reduce the fire of that is engulfing Fitz.
Okay. Yeah.
Take a maneuver to put it out.
Yeah, I think at this point, because Berazel, spoiler alert, is currently unable to take action against you guys, you're easily able to get the fire out, and it's not that big of a deal. But he did still take the damage. The scholar says, "Boy, you all are quite lively. What I was going to say is, Berazel, please relay this information to Zed. I think he can hear it anyway, but just in case. Berazel was the pure source of your power in the beginning, but some of it either has been transferred or has been created for yourself. You know this.
Barazel's just twitching, like trying to like get his
Yeah.
body to
Yeah,
work.
it basically just keeps him like kind of still, and like every time he like tries to move suddenly, it like restrains him a little bit. It's kind of uncomfortable, but it's not like super big. He can still like do stuff and stuff. It's just like if he tries to like do anything super scary, it's gonna be not great for him.
Oh, I mean, he will try and claw Fitz in the face, but like,
oh, cool.
I'm guessing
Yeah.
it
Okay. So
stops
yeah,
him.
yeah. It keeps like you keep going, like you keep going for the claws, and it like dead stops you. It's kind of like seatbelts, where like if you move quickly, like it is just like so you can like creep towards him. But he also, you notice like at one point, like I think Berazel is like, I figured this out, and he just like starts very slowly moving, and Fitz like just smirks again, and you see him like flip out a little like mechanical thing in his hand and press a button, and it stops him dead cold again. And he said, and Fitz will say, "Don't try anything."
Your soul is going to be delicious.
I guess we'll find out, won't we?
So Fitz, IS Corp knew about Berazel?
No, we did not know about Berazel, but as soon as I saw what was going on in the orientation room, I started developing some new technology. Full disclosure, this is not a permanent fix, but it should help this particular moment.
So, dear scholar person, what special powers did Goose get?
The best question.
Ah, an interesting question.
This, and I show my trick knee off.
Click, click.
Yeah.
I have to scroll down. I lost all my Jacob questions. Oh, I don't have more Jacob questions. Okay, I gotta come up with something.
Wow.
It's because I didn't know that you were gonna be down here, so I only had a couple things.
Aw.
Yeah. Oh, here it is. Oh, it's perfect. Oh, it's perfect. This is good. This is good. Okay, so to answer that, he will say, "Why do you wear Jeff's jacket?"
I always felt like I did my best work when Jeff was around, and wearing this jacket makes me feel like he's always here.
Wow. That's a damn good answer. Holy shit. So good that I totally forgot what your actual question to him was.
What was Goose's special powers?
Oh, what is Goose's special power? Okay, that's right. Okay. Ooh, I gotta be real careful with this. Okay, he says he's going to say, Mr. Bailey has not exhibited any powers as we would normally understand them. I have been watching the four of you, I guess the five of you, very closely, and I am not certain that he has them. Though I am not certain that he doesn't. Is
He's
that
like
okay,
forced
Colby?
to-
Is that all right? Is
Yeah.
that okay? Cool. Just I don't want to step on any toes.
Yeah. I have a question. Can everyone else plug your ears? And I walk behind Berazel and stick my fingers in his ears.
Okay.
Uh,
He tries to bite you.
do you have any information about the VA / the treatment my wife was receiving when she died?
Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh man. Okay. So the scholar says the question I was going to ask you was also related to this. So unfortunately, I do not. Believe me, Mr. Bailey, when I say that I tried.
As did I. I take my fingers out of his ears.
And
There's a big ball of red wax on your fingertips.
it kind of burns a little. It's a little acidy as sizzles. It's horrible. And once everybody's ears open, he says, "You should also try the oracle for that question."
I do a skullduggery to try to wipe it on Fitz's coat without him noticing.
Oh no, you can just do that because that's fucking wonderful. Because he kind of his suit is a little bit ruined, just a little bit from the fire. So I think you just get it on him a little bit, and it ruins it even slightly more. Okay, who's next, if anybody?
I think it's time to see the oracle.
I don't have anything else. Fitz, you owe me $20 though.
Why do I owe you $20? You heard his answer.
bet.
It wasn't definitive.
I said, "Why is it evil?" And his response was not, "They're not evil."
The first thing he said is that he didn't want to talk about philosophy.
Okay, buddy.
You children in your...
Okay, so since you deal with the past, are there tools available to help us defeat IS Corp?
Are there tools available to help you do this, Corp? Interesting.
I'll say that as I'm standing up.
Carl, who is your best friend?
It's Goose.
Ooh. Does Goose say that?
No, Carl just thumbs over and says it's Goose.
He writes that down really quickly. He says,
Then Goose is, oh.
he'll say, depending on what your intentions are, there are many resources available in this city and in the wider world. I think, to be more specific, I would need more information.
I didn't want to just have you tell me to go to the Oracle again. So I'll ask the other question. Where can we find the tools specifically to help us defeat IS Corps? Do we have to take a big journey? Is it local town? Is it within ourselves? Is there magic?
I mean, I'm not going to
Thanks,
tell
Albie.
you that love was the answer the whole time. But what I will say is, let me ask a clarifying question. What does defeat mean in your mind, Carl Nelson?
Stop them from
No.
controlling the world, much like Berazel wants to.
The last scholar had a lot more to say.
I will choose to ignore that demon. What I will say is that in some ways, yes, the power is in you. In other ways, it is impossible under only your own auspices. Did I ask payment for this question? I can't remember. Don't think I did, so I think you're getting this one for free. But yes.
Well, that was the answer.
Well played, Mr. Bailey. Yes, you both have the power and do not.
That sounds like another Oracle question.
You
guys are going to hate the Oracle.
What I was trying to figure out. He's just going to tell us to go to the scholar.
Tyke, I've seen you give clearer answers than this guy.
I know. I might as well just be drawing my tarot cards at this point.
All right. Well, I'm gonna.
You guys are asking really vague questions. Do we have what it takes to defeat IS Corps? What is that? What is that?
Be clear.
No, I specifically asked where to find the tools, but yeah, it's okay.
I just want to clarify. That is Tyke criticizing the scholar. That's not Jacob.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Carl was standing up to leave anyways, so he's just going to continue walking out the door.
Any other last minute questions?
Not following.
No, Tyke's turned around.
You are Cole.
Okay.
I wonder how
Berazel's going to care.
So the ambassador will sort of nod to the scholar, say, "Hey, thanks, scholar.
Thank you.
See you at lunch." And we'll lead you down the hallway.
No one else is gonna thank that guy. Like, come on.
Nope.
Thanks.
There's
Thanks.
like humanity carved into the table, and like little rituals carved into the table.
Yeah. That's fun.
So, can I try to just... I want to tell Berazel, hey, can I talk to Zed for a minute? It's a medical question.
We're sorry. If this is a medical emergency, please hang up and call 911.
Start to undo my belt and tell him, listen, one of you is going to get a look at the wart on my butt. It's your choice.
You want me to lance it? And he holds up a claw.
I think
Please tell me the scholar's writing all this down.
I think I sort of like Goose. I don't think you're going to be able to win this game.
Yeah. I was trying to deceive him into letting him come back, but fine, I'll talk to him later.
Yeah.
Have we figured out what turns Berazel back into Zed?
At the moment, it is like super heavy forces of will. That's about it. You guys have really only ever been able to do it with like intense emotional stuff or like magic or like the normal course of how it happens, which I don't know that you guys 100% know, other than usually it happens when Zed goes down.
Mhm.
So it's a bit ambiguous to the characters, definitely, and
Sounds
honestly
like a
to
Oracle
us.
question to me.
Yeah, that'll be the first thing we ask that guy. I wonder if he has questions for us as well.
Okay, so the ambassador will lead you back through the library area. They wave again to the person behind the desk. This time they're like carrying a big stack of books from one of the stacks. And then he leads you up to the second level. In the center of the second level balcony, there is a catwalk area that leads into a weird little center. A weird little center platform thing that is suspended in the air, and above that there's a spiral staircase going up. And he leads you up the catwalk into the spiral staircase and upwards into this strange cylindrical chamber that has like these glass windows on the sides of all of them. All of these windows look out into these little like topiary things with like zoological things, like little like animal like some animal exhibits. Some are like aquariums and stuff like that. Some are just like flora and fauna, that kind of thing. And there are like a dozen of these going up these like windows until there is another like platform above that you guys all climb onto, and above you is this very strange like object, like metal construction thing, like device that has all of these glass orbs like spiraling around. It looks sort of like a constellation almost, or like the solar system, but as not in the correct like not the correct like layout. And he leads you up there, and there's another robed figure standing there.
Let me guess. Guy in the middle of that room's the librarian, right?
In the middle of that room, probably. Yeah. Wait, are you asking this in character? I missed that.
Yeah, I'm just pointing over my shoulder to the guy that's in the middle of the room that we walked by.
Yes, that would be the librarian. Yes.
Go figure.
Did you have questions for them? I don't know how they would answer.
Figure we'll get back to them eventually.
Okay. And then you guys climb onto this thing with this weird apparatus with these big glass globes, multicolors, and standing next to it, holding a stone tablet in their left arm, looking up, is another one of these 8-foot tall robed figures without the right side, like a big portion of the right side of their body. Their arm and part of the shoulder part of the robe is just like slack. You can tell that there's like nothing there. And they're just like looking up, they're holding this stone tablet, and they sort of like nod as you guys climb up in here.
Lefty, my old friend, how's it hanging?
I never thought I'd see you again.
Oh, well, I could even you out there.
You couldn't, but you could try.
So, anyway, we just came from the Scholar. Or is the ambassador still with us, and is he going to introduce us?
The ambassador just kind of sits idly by. What did you say right before Jacob spoke?
How can we get rid of Berazel?
Oh, okay. Yes, I watched your interaction with the Scholar. Let me be upfront.
You're just sitting to the side chuckling at us, or
my services require a different sort of payment.
Yeah, everyone's got their hand out.
Yeah, what is it?
It is relatively simple. I require only a small amount of your life force.
How small?
Well, that's only fair. I took your arm last time we met.
And I will not answer questions from the demon.
That's fair.
Well, I don't think so.
Well, no one else cares. So, how small?
They say, That depends on your constitution and your general well-being at the moment.
Wait, is this like you take a year off our life kind of thing? Or
Nothing
Or maybe it's a
so
wound?
It doesn't have that much left.
nothing so archaic as that.
yeah, it's hurtful, but the demon's right.
Yes, it is. At worst, usually it is temporary. You should not suffer any permanent damage unless you are weak of constitution. For that, I take no responsibility.
Alright, well, sure.
Who will begin?
And Berazel.
Did anybody keep notes on what we wanted to ask the Oracle? I forgot.
Yeah. Hey, take some of Berazel's blood and tell us how to get rid of him.
I will not be taking any of his essence today.
I also don't think it works that way.
Can we trust Dan?
Can you
That's right.
trust
That was
Dan?
one of the Oracle questions.
Of course. Step in front of me, please. And
Okay,
they gesture with the stone tablet right in front of you. There's this like weird like metallic circle with a glass globe like in the center.
Anyway, okay.
They raise the stone tablet and you hear like this low thrumming and you are going to take 3 wounds and 3 strain.
Oof.
Oh,
Are you still up?
Yep.
As this happens, this is a cool question. What color is Tyke's life force?
Tyke's blood.
It's blue. It's the same color of blue as in his hair.
Oh, okay, cool. I dig that.
Hello.
So this blue vapor begins to appear in one of the glass orbs, and the whole device starts to very slowly rotate. And the Oracle holds up this stone tablet, and you can see some of this like blue vapor sort of like mists up in front of them, and they sort of like wave it a little bit out, and they say, "Depending on your definition of trust, I believe you may be able to."
Berazel inhales deeply.
Oh,
Smells like innocence.
okay. I guess that's an answer.
Do you wish
I
to
look
delve
sick.
deeper?
But like I look like I think I turn green. And I probably feel kind of queasy and maybe stagger.
I can say only what I see, but what I see, it is difficult with the heart of an automaton. They seem curious, and they have righteous fury inside them. These things could be used for great, great evil, but they could also be used for great good.
That makes sense. I don't think I'm going to ask any more questions, though.
All right.
You have a good day.
Can we use Dan as a tool to defeat IS Corp?
Step in front of me, please.
I'll step in front of you.
Okay. All right. Yeah. The same sort of thing happens. What color is Carl's life force?
It is a very light gray.
Oh God, I hate that so much. I need to stop
Gray,
asking about Carl.
beige.
Makes me beige would be the only worst. Oh my gosh.
It's taupe.
Oh, it smells like English cooking. Get some spices for that, Saul. Oh, it's a foul taste in my mouth.
So
What's the line from Bob's Burgers about, if you were a spy, she'd be flour?
Yeah, yes, exactly. Not even salt, nothing. If you were a spice, you'd be flour. That's good
That's
shit.
how Berazel feels. It's bad.
If you were a
Oh.
vegetable, you'd be iceberg. Yeah, that, all of that. Yep. Okay, so as the oracle sort of answered Tyke's question, you saw like this blue mist vapor sort of dissipate. And as Carl steps in front of the thing, they do the same thing, and a different globe, a smaller one, nearer to the edge, fills with this like the opposite of vibrant, this really dull light gray vapor, and it begins to rotate a little bit faster this time. And they hold up the tablet again, and the vapor sort of drains into the tablet, and eventually dissipates out of the globe. And they say, imagine a speeding train heading towards an obstacle. The obstacle is IS Corp. The train is Dan. One way or another, there will be a collision. What happens beyond is occluded.
I take that as a yes. I'll look at everybody else and just step back.
And of course,
Yeah,
take 3
let's
strain and 3 wounds.
Let's
So
get on
how-
the Dan train.
How do we get Berazel to turn back?
They will gesture in front of them, and say, "Please stand here."
Stand there.
All right, Goose or Colby. What color is Goose's life force?
Camouflage, right?
His life force is digital camo.
Oh man.
No, but it is, I'll say like an emerald green, like his eyes.
Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. I dig that. So that sort of that vapor. You also take 3 wounds and 3 strain. The largest glass globe, very near to the center of this apparatus, fills deeply with this emerald mist. And then they hold up the stone tablet. There's the vapor that comes off of it. And they say, inside of that body there is a war. To shift the balance, you must win a battle. Right now, Berazel is winning the battle. You must shift the balance in Zed's favor.
I pistol whip Berazel.
I was gonna say something like Narcan.
I think the greatest part about this is right as you pistol whip Berazel, I think Fitz has the same idea and presses a button, and this this device shoots this blue like electricity around him, and then it turns purple, and I think Berazel just goes to the ground. Berazel, why don't you roll me a discipline check against let's call it hard, upgraded twice because you're dealing with IS Corp tech. So 2 reds and a purple.
Three threats,
Ooh, all right, very cool.
but it wasn't clear.
Okay, this is not.
Or, I mean,
Okay, this is not quite despair territory, so he's not going to see the entire memory. But in the transfer process, as Zed's excess skin begins to burn off and he becomes Zed again, Zed's mind and Berazel's mix for just a moment. So I would give him the memory of Goose holding a gun at Berazel, but I think that's more despair territory. So I think there's a different memory that Zed gets to see of Berazel's. What is that memory? Take us through that.
So they're in a desert near open water, and Berazel is in a human body. He's clearly in control, but he's not in this form. This seems to be something that he can only do during the unveiling, or because of the unveiling. And there is a Near Eastern man in robes who they're speaking in a language that Zed is familiar with but doesn't really know. And the only words he hears are "come out." Those are the only words he can understand.
Mm.
And he sees thousands of souls rip out of this body and go into a herd of pigs, which then go down into this body of water and drown.
Wow. That's intense as hell. And Zed wakes up as Zed again back in his body with this image in his mind. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. You've solved my Berazel puzzle.
Electroshock therapy and physical abuse. Great.
And I forgot to mention
Like a TV.
when Zed's skin burns off, the device that Fitz put on you burns essentially to a crisp. Like it gets very badly burnt and falls to the ground. And Fitz picks it up and says, "Yeah, okay. Yeah, I guess it needs more reinforcement.
More fireproofing."
Wait, do you?
Oh, that was unpleasant.
Say what, Jacob?
Do you have another one of those?
No, I don't. This is literally the prototype.
You stay Zed.
I mean, I try. You all keep wanting to talk to him.
That's true. I mean, we did kind of let the scholar do that.
Yeah, we're gonna end up having a Hulk, Bruce Banner, Thor, which one we like more thing going on.
Realized he was like evil.
Yeah,
I thought he was like
a little
edgy.
evil. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Turns out
did
he's
you
a real demon.
did you guys
Yeah.
not pay attention to the things he was saying during your orientation? Because I was. That's why I had this ready. Because I saw what he did. Don't you remember? You had to hold a gun to him to get him to turn back.
I mean, I remember a lot of weird things from orientation. So, yeah.
I guess while we're here, Zed, this is the Oracle. Do you have any questions for them?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, we did. We moved on to the Oracle from the scholar.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I was just
Future
kind of in
question.
purgatory.
Future questions. Good for this one.
Yeah. So I guess my question would be, what steps can I actually take, like concrete steps, to master this power?
The Oracle will say, you will need to learn from the arcane. That is not my realm. I apologize.
Okay.
All right, now we get to go to the arcane.
Well, same question that I left off on the last person. You were eavesdropping on us, you know what it is.
Yeah, but Zach, the DM, doesn't remember, so you have to tell me again.
Oh, that's horrible.
The Oracle, of course, will answer. Will gesture and have you step up, and take your life force and answer without you needing to remind them. But Zachary, the DM, does not remember shit.
Was there anything going on with the VA and my
That's
My
right.
wife.
my
That's
wife's
right.
treatment? Anything fishy?
Ooh,
I'm looking real rough now, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah. Take that. Strain and wounds, and then Jacob, please pull me a tarot card.
Okay.
You all look really unhealthy. What's been going on?
Oh man. I pulled the
You guys-
devil.
Oh my God!
Oh,
What?
It turns
I
out
mean-
that the Oracle question. The Oracle requires some of your life for the answer. So yeah,
There's-
we've all kind of given up a little bit.
There's no way that can be good.
It's good. Yeah, no, that's probably not good.
Right side up.
Right side up. Shadow self, attachment, addiction, restriction, and sexuality. So
Basically every vice.
for me, the DM, to answer this, I need to know about Goose's dischargement from the military. I don't think mint is in there. I think it's just discharge. Sorry.
It was honorable. He served his time, went up through the ranks. He was even in some like special ops at some point. And he just did all of his time and got a little too old and wanted to spend more time at home with his wife.
Okay. And when was she being treated? Like in relation to when you were discharged?
She started getting treated like 10 years later.
Okay. All right, so yeah, take those wounds and strain. You see the emerald green vapor go into the another globe. This time, it is a perfectly average-sized globe near the center, near the middle area of this cylinder, and it begins to very, very slowly rotate. And the oracle holds up the tablet, and the vapor sort of dispels a little bit around everything, and they will say, your wife was treated unfairly. It is far enough ago that I cannot say more.
You can say a little more.
I could try. It may not work out the best.
What if you had someone healthier to take from?
That may not be the issue. There are...
You're requiring a payment for not an answer. That's not right.
It is not easy to explain this to you, but there are rules with this sort of thing. I can try, but there may be consequences. I cannot say what they are. Do you wish to know more?
I have to know.
Colby, what is the talent that allows you to manipulate luck, fate thing, all that stuff?
One is Touch of Fate, where you get to add 2 blue to any one check, and then another one is Lucky Break, have to spend a story point and can re-roll a failed check and add an extra blue.
Okay. I would like you to roll a check, but this is not stat-based. So...
Okay.
I think we'll call it essentially luck. I think we'll do 2 blues versus 2 blacks.
That looks like a failure and advantage.
Okay. All of the orbs in this device begin to fill with this rainbow, like pearlescent sort of vapor. When you guys sort of look around, you notice that the oracle is standing on the glass area that they asked you to stand on each time. You're not 100% sure when that happened. It's kind of weird in your brain, and the whole room kind of feels a little bit foggy, and the whole apparatus begins to rotate all of these orbs at different speeds. And this goes on for a weird amount of time. It's a weird sort of dream space sort of thing, where it's kind of strange, and it almost feels like time is not 100% correct, and it almost kind of feels like being high. Also, it's very a little, you're a little bit just a little bit mind affecting, but after some amount of time, you're not sure exactly how long, the apparatus begins to slow down. At all of the vapor has dissipated from the orbs. It stops, and this sort of brain fog, inebriative feeling starts to clear from your minds, and the oracle sort of stumbles off of this glass orb that does the life force sucking, and then stands upright again and says, I believe, in your words, you may call it murder. And it was done because of you.
Thousand-yard stare.
Okay. I think that is an excellent place for us to end.
Oh.
So yeah.
Oh,
A murder most foul.
A murder most foul, yeah. Check out our Discord. Check out our Twitter at RPGsAnonymous1. If you tweet at us with story concepts or character ideas or stuff like that, we'll try and get them into the show. We also answer questions in character on Twitter, so you can pose those, you can see the answers, all that sort of stuff. You can catch up on our YouTube channel, link in the Discord, or at via our podcast RSS, which is available on iTunes and Spotify and all of the other ones, or at rpgsanonymous.podiant.co, which is our RSS feed. Do you guys have anything else to plug?
I believe Jacob and I are going to try to have the first episode of the Ace of Clubs podcast up. Discussion on Brave New World, was it?
Yeah.
Sick. Apropos of this current situation a little bit.
Whole first season is going to be all about that dystopia sci-fi.
Very cool. Very cool. Anybody else?
Yep, we should be having our teaching Jacob how to play Genesis episode coming out on YouTube next week, I think.
Yep.
So keep an eye out for that. It is on Twitch. You can watch it now.
Yep, it's on Twitch. You can watch it. The full conversation now. The YouTube cut down version will be on, I think we decided, next week around Wednesday or Thursday. And I would just like to say, I love you all. You know, the world sucks sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't. But you know what? You're cool. You're okay. Everything's fine. You know, and if you need a hug, we'll find somebody to give you a hug, because that's a really healing experience. And otherwise, we'll help you escape next week by seeing you in the multiverse. Thanks so much.
Deuces.
Yeah.